Isn't that what women do? Women try and use sex as a weapon. So they cut. But what happens when a woman cuts here? What happens? She doesn't get to go over here anymore. So what she's trying to do is get the man to communicate by cutting here. But that doesn't work. That's not best practice. You don't cut here and then expect your man to connect here. What's the man going to do when you cut sex? He's going to find a girlfriend. He's going to find pornography. He's going to drink. He's going to find some way of dealing with those feelings. If the woman cuts. Now, but on the same token, men, what do? I'll give her the silent treatment. I won't talk to her for 3 days. I'll be tough. So when she asks me what I'm doing, I'll go, how was your day today, honey? What did you do today? How are you feeling today? Right? Isn't that what men do?
Yeah.
We're like little children, right? We pout. We give the woman the silent treatment. So what happens when we give the woman the silent treatment? Do we get to go here?
No.
No. Not unless we force her. But that's not good for the relationship. So you find some men rape their wives or abuse their wives. But that does nothing to communicate and to go here. So what we're after is a balance in the relationship where the wife, the woman, feels like she's getting some emotional need met, and the husband feels like he's getting his sexual need met, and you work together. So let me tell you a story that I've heard. I don't know if some of you have heard of this book, Women Are From Venus, Men Are From Mars. There's a famous book written by an author called John Gray. So he talks a lot about the differences between men and women. And with regards to this, he tells a funny story. How they've been married for some time, and his wife really likes opera. You know what opera is? Where you go and they sing in Italiano and blah, 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 and they wear these suits and they sing around. And he hates opera, okay? The husband hates opera. The woman, she loves opera. So she's telling him every time, oh, I don't want to go to the opera. Oh, we should buy tickets and go to the opera. And he's not interested. No. But she's talking. Finally, after maybe some months, he finally agrees. He says, okay, my dear, since you're pushing so much, let's agree to go to the opera. So he goes, he buys 2 tickets to the opera. They come home, they get dressed up very nice, and they go to dinner, and he listens to her talking at dinner, pays attention to her, and they go to the opera, and he's trying to keep his eyes awake from sleeping, and she's so very happy. So they finish, and they go home, and they're pulling the car into the car park. And you know, in America, the car park has a door, and it closes, so the car is parked inside in a private place. So they pull in, and as soon as the door closes, what does she do? She jumps on top of him and rips his clothes off, and they have wild sex in the car, on the boot, on the bonnet, in everywhere, in the kitchen, and he's just, he can't believe it. So what does he do? The next day he goes and buys season tickets to the opera, right? Because he's getting this, right? Lots of this. And she is getting lots of this. So he recognizes that, okay, I don't understand why it's a big deal to buy flowers for my wife. For me, if someone gives me flowers, I don't understand. But my wife, she loves when I give flowers. So what do? I don't understand, but I give flowers. Why? Because when I go here, guess what? I get to go here. Yeah. And here's where I want to be. And my wife, she knows that if she allows me to go here, then she gets to go over here. And then we begin to relate to each other. So this is a wheel. Sex is in the middle. And it's a circle. But the problem in many marriages is that either the woman breaks, or the man breaks, or both break. And then you find many couples, they haven't had sex in 6 months or a year. And guess what? Where are they going? They're going outside of the marriage. And is that risky behavior? Yes. As we know, ABC, right? Be faithful is B. So we're talking about the B. Be faithful. Now, another question for you men. How many of you like to have sex with a condom on? Okay, you don't have to raise your hand. I won't embarrass you in public. But the truth is men don't like wearing a condom. Okay, I don't like wearing a condom. It takes a lot of the enjoyment out of a sexual experience to wear a condom. So if I'm faithful to my wife and she's faithful to me, and neither of us are infected, guess what? I get to have as much sex as I want without having to wear a condom. And that's what I'm telling my boys. I have 2 boys at home, 13 and 15, and when we talk about these issues about sexuality, I tell them the best thing you can do is to wait until you get married, be faithful to your wife, and for her to be faithful to you, and then you'll be able to enjoy a sexual relationship with your wife and not have to wear a condom. So the health organizations the world over, that's one of their struggles, is getting men in particular to wear condoms, and men don't like to do it. And having sex, unprotected sex, outside of this partnership is risky for you. That's how AIDS gets transmitted easily. So we want to emphasize this idea of best practice for being faithful to your spouse. And all of us want to have a great sex life. Across the world, psychologists, people who interview and talk to people, there's no one who says, I want a terrible sex life. Nobody. Everyone aspires to having a good sex life. And this is best practice for having a good sex life. So for you men, a prostitute is not a good sex life. Okay? Looking at pornographic pictures and masturbating is not a good sex life. And women, going around looking for a man who will be nice to you for one night so that he can get into your panties is not a good sex life, right? I don't know, do you agree with me?
Yeah.
I'm hearing silence. So our desire for you is that you understand